Hey everyone, welcome to the Greenland Quilter channel. I'm Katie and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to dive into a couple of things. We're going to continue to work on my hand and soul sew along that I've been working on. And also I'm going to show you something that I got in the mail from a friend who's designing not only a pixel patterns, but she's also designing a ruler that you can check to make sure all your pixel blocks are that they work. And I'll be testing out both the pattern and the ruler, and we'll see how that goes. And also the hand and soul block I'm working on tonight is called Trailblazer, and I've already started on part of it, and I'll continue working on that as well. And then I'll get the one colorway done, and then if I have enough time, I'll go ahead and start cutting the other one because I'm doing two colorways at the same time, and we'll go from there. So yeah, let's do that. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you this because it's pretty interesting. I don't know. Let me see if I can find the designer has been doing some pixelated. Hey, Lori, and hi, Nicola. I mean, oh my gosh. Hi, Nikki. Hello, Lori. Hi, AC Florida. How are you? I hope you're doing well. One thing I want to do though is I'm going to go over to my Facebook and find Christine's Facebook page so that I can show you. I think I might have showed you the pictures before, but I'm not exactly sure. And I'm just going to download a couple of her pictures. That way we don't have to go to Facebook itself, because my Facebook is, well, private for the most part. Hang on a minute while I look for this. I might have to download it the other way. Okay, save image. So I'll show you a couple of her works. And then we'll talk about the pattern that she's designed and the ruler that she's designed, because it's pretty fun. And I think I'm going to have a good time with doing this for her because I'm testing out the pattern and the ruler. And I'm trying to find one more picture. That way I can show all of them at once. She did one with her son. This picture. Let me see if I can find that one. It's here somewhere, or it was. There's the hummingbird. There it is. I have located it. Okay. So I'm gonna show these to you, and then we're going to discuss the testing, because she's asked me to be a tester, and I'm more than happy to do that, and it'll be fun and interesting at the same time because I've never done a pixel quilt before, or any kind of pixel. Yeah, I've never done a quilt pixel pattern before, so it's going to be fun seeing how it turns out, so yeah, so let me hang on a minute. I'm on the wrong laptop for this. Oops. Where's Facebook again? Bear with me here while I'm doing this, okay? And hey, to anyone who's walked in, I'll pinpoint you in just a minute. I need to download some pictures so I can show them to you, because I think that she is really taking off with this, and I am so happy for her and so proud of her at the same time. She's a woman that you met. Some of you met her at QuiltCon in 2024. She quilted she quilted my Stronger Together quilt, and she also did the quilting on that quilt that I had been commissioned to make. And so she's very talented, and I'm really excited for her because she's been back to sewing again. For a while there, she had gotten into a funk. That's what I call it. And she wasn't doing anything. And now she's back to her happy usual self, and she seems all relaxed and calm now. And she said she's been feeling really creative, and that sounds like Christine. She's also the same person who's gone and picked Blaze up and took him to do things with. And so I'm sure that you've heard me mention her a few times. She's a really nice person, and I really do like hanging out with her because she's so down to earth and kind and sweet, and you know, the list is long. So yeah, let me get back to where I can see what you're saying while I get ready to share the screen. Okay. Yeah, here. Nope, that's studio. Where is my live at? Okay, I'm in the live now. All right. Hi, Denise. Hello. Hello. And yep. So hi, Cindy. Welcome, welcome. Did I miss anyone else yet? No, I don't. I think I've caught everyone so far. Hopefully we'll start seeing more filter in here. Okay, so let me get my screen shared. That's the first part I got to do. Here. Where is my, oh, I know where it's at. Okay, we're going to share the screen. Okay, I'm going to double click on this first picture, and someone let me know when you can see it in your screen. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to show you is of the hummingbird. That is if, yeah, if Zoom lets me. Or maybe I have to share, maybe I have to do this the other way. I always forget which way is the best way to do this. Darn it. I think I lost this. No, I didn't. Here it is. Let me try again, you guys. I don't know why I have such a hard time with doing the share screen thing. Just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right. Let's share the screen. All right. Let me know. Y'all talk to me. All right. Let me know if you see this. Hello. Let me know if you see it. Okay. So anyway, this is what she's been doing with her now that she's back to sewing again. I'm so happy for her because she's just yeah, she's very talented. So she has a hummingbird, and then oops, wrong way, sorry. Then she did this one of Prince. Hi, Grant. Good to see you. And then she did one of her son. This is her son. Darius is his name. Hi, Ginger. It's good to see you. And yeah, so this is what she's been doing with her time. She's been sewing pixel quilts along with regular quilts. She does do both. She also has a long arm, like I said, and she's quilted a couple of my quilts, so she's very talented. So anyway, I wanted you to see some of her art. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back to the regular screen, and we're going to talk about what she sent me in the mail, because I didn't open this in the other live because I wanted you to see this. So she sent me a package, and it came while I was in Nuke. And it has she has designed this pixel ruler for the pixel art. And she's doing I think she's already got a patent on it. She filed all the patents and everything on it. But what she's done is she's sent a small kit. And we will be doing this. I'll be working on this on Saturday. And so let me show you. the ruler first. I'm gonna take it out of the plastic. So this is it looks like it's 5.5 squared. And the blocks here, you'll be able to check your, because reason she designed this ruler is to keep so that you can actually line up these squares with your pixel squares because they're small. And regular rulers have a lot of busy stuff on it, so it kind of keeps you from seeing what you're after. And so she's come up with this really cool ruler so that you can make sure when you're squaring up your little 5.5-inch blocks, you've got all of these lines lined up with your pixel squares. Okay, so this is what the ruler looks like, and I need a piece of paper looks like. There we go. Now you can see it better. So this is what the ruler looks like, and it's 5.5 inch, and it's for 8 by inch pixel grids, 3/4 of an inch finished pixels. So these little squares are 3/4 of an inch. But I think they've redesigned the this part of the ruler because she said that they've changed it a little bit. But this will get me through testing it and everything. There is a plastic thing here on the back so the ruler doesn't move. And I love how she put the little label on the little bag. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in here in a minute because I don't want the ruler to get messed up. All right, let's look at this pattern. This is a small kit. It came with fabric. She told me that the fabric's already been starched because they're recommending that you starch the fabric. And since I can't starch, she went ahead and starched mine for me to send it to me for testing. And so she's picked all the colors that you're going to use. And this is what we're making. We're making what is called the Patty Rose. Hi, Delia. Hey, Bud Files. Hi, Linda. Welcome, welcome. So this will be the first time will be doing a pixel art square. And basically my job is to test out the pattern and the ruler to make sure everything, and then give her feedback on after I get done with it. So Saturday, what I'm going to do is probably before I start the live, there is instructions in here on what you need to cut. I'll go ahead and get everything pre-cut so that we can sew it because I need to press this since it's starched. Yeah, see how stiff it is? And I really appreciate the fact that she starched it because she knows I can't starch due to my lungs. And this is something, I guess, with the pixel art that you want your fabric to be starched. So this block will finish at 12.5. Let's see. You're going to have 3/4 inch finished pixels, 1 1/4 inch unfinished. This will make an 8 by 8 pixel grid designed to be used with a 6.5 inch pixel ruler. This says 5.5, but maybe it is a 6.5. Let me see if it's the same size as my 6.5. I have a 6.5 ruler right here. It probably is the 5.5, and I'll ask her about that when I talk to her. Because mainly it's just seeing how the ruler works out. No, it's 6.5, all right. See, same size. So it's definitely a 6.5. Okay, so that's correct. And then it says, it tells you to read all the directions before you start. Use 1/4 inch seams. Construct each block separately and in rows of 2 as in the directions here. So you can see it has you doing these rows 2 at a time. And then after I finish this, I give her feedback on it. And her name is Christine Relford. She did tell me that they're giving the whole project a different name. So I'll let you know when I hear about the new name. The center is the center-based alignment. So the crosshairs lock in the center of the block for perfect alignment. and you go from there. So it'll be fun test running this pattern. The fabric's pretty. I mean, you can see what it looks like. So, yep. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do on Saturday so that I can give her feedback on it. And also you'll get to see me do this because this will be the first time you've seen me do a pixel art square. What do y'all think about that? The pattern's pretty. She showed me several different patterns and she told me I could pick whichever one I wanted to try out. And I chose the rose one. And then probably in the future, she'll probably have me testing more for her. I hope so anyway, because it's a way for me to pay it forward back to her because she's quilted for me and not at, you know, she's really a great person and I really appreciate her because she's helped Thomas and Blaze out quite often. Hopefully some by the end of this week, Thomas will have, yay, wait till you hear this. Thomas will have a dining table and 2 chairs for them to finally sit at the dining table to eat together instead of eating at the little tiny sofa that they sit on. So I'm so tickled about that. And that's because Christine ordered him a table. So he should get that any day now. And hopefully he'll get it put together quickly and get it in place so they can start making use of it. So anyway, this is, like I said, by Christine. And I don't know if there's, she just said she's looking forward to seeing my feedback. So that's what's in the card. Anyway, okay. Now that I've shown this to you, I'm going to put it back in the bag so we don't lose any pieces. I like how it just goes in this neat little bag. And you just zip it up. The ruler and everything fits in it. Just like that. Voila. All right. Now, while I'm getting ready to start sewing, so what I've already done is, I don't know if I showed you or not. I've already got one side of this Trailblazer block done. That's one side of the whole piece has been sewn together now. Now I'm working on the other half, which is going to go in the other direction. And then we'll sew both sides together and this block will be finished. And this is in the Batiks Coffee Shop. The only part of this that's not coffee shop is the turquoise, but the rest of this is from the coffee shop, the Hoffman Coffee Shop Challenge. And then what I'll do is, if I have time today, after I finish this, then we'll move on to the wovens and start on the wovens. I'll have to cut them because I haven't even cut them. Yeah, because I have to make half square triangles, and I am definitely going to use paper because I want to keep these triangles as accurate as possible since this is for a challenge. Otherwise, I would just do it the hard way. All right, so here's what we got to do next. I've sewn this part down here together, and I have this part, this needs to be finished sewed on this, and then I need to sew these 3 half triangles together, and then we can put the block together. Okay, so let me finish sewing this together here, and then we'll start on the other half square triangles, and then we'll get them all sewed together. So I know I've probably asked this in the past, but there's some people in here I don't know where you live at. Where is everybody watching from? Let me know from the chat. Where are you watching from? And I need to get my iron turned on. Okay. because I'm going to need to press these down. Ah, Deb says Australia. Welcome, welcome. Delia's watching from Michigan. Lori's watching from Virginia. All right, let's sew this. I need a piece of a leader. Anyone else? Hey, John, welcome, welcome. He says, hi, Katie and friends, lurking in the back while I cook dinner. Hey, what are you cooking for dinner? What's for dinner? All right, let's get this done here, and then I'm going to start sewing them other half square triangles together. And then let's go ahead and grab these. We'll set this aside for right now and the strip, and go ahead and get these lined up how they're supposed to be right here. So the first two together. Denise says Southern California. Ginger says Illinois. Grant says hi from Southern California. I'm heating peanut satay. That sounds great. Sounds yummy, actually. Okay, so now, what quilting project are y'all working on right now? And I know there's some in here that I don't think they're quilters. So what have you been doing this week? Working, or do you have a project that you're working on? What you been doing this week? Delia said she made chicken fried rice. Yum. Hi, Mona. Hope you're doing well. Okay. Right now, I'm going to finish sewing these half triangles together, and then the iron looks like it's hot enough now, so I'm going to go ahead and press. Once I get both sides of these done, I will press them along with the base, and then we're going to start sewing the other half of this together, and then we'll be able to put the two halves together, and we'll have a completed block. And then it's time to do more cutting. Okay, I just need to make sure these are. Uh-oh, I already made a mistake. Wow. Dang. I shouldn't be doing that straight out of the gate. That's not right. But it won't take me long to pull it apart. Straightened out my baking drawers in my kitchen, getting ready for baking season with the blessings. Yum, yum. What kind of, hey, Delia, what kind of things do you like to bake? Julia says, John, was the perfect way to use the leftover chicken from last night. Plus, I get to share it with my sons and their family. Chicken fried rice is yummy. Mona's asking Denise how she's doing. Hope you're doing well, Denise. And hello, Rhonda. She says, that sounds yummy. So Nikolai didn't get off the ground today, by the way. He's still here. He was supposed to have been in Nuke by now, but didn't happen. Man, Air Greenland has a serious problem. I mean serious. I cannot believe I sewed that on the wrong side. Dang, that's not cool. I enjoy candy and cookie making. I usually make it and then give it away for holiday gifts. That's a great idea. I like making cookies too, but I haven't made them in forever. Is Nick okay? Yeah, he's fine. He's got headphones on right now, so he's not hearing much of the conversation. I think he might be in the chat, but I'm not sure. Hey, Danny, how are you? Because I think I saw him in there earlier, maybe. We'll be making banana and zucchini bread this weekend and freezing. Hey, Delia, you know what I like to make? I like making cinnamon nut bread. In fact, that makes me want to make some this weekend and then divvy it so I don't eat too much of it, since I'm not supposed to be eating a bunch of junk. Send me the recipe. How many hours is this? How many hours of what, Danny? Are you talking about the live? I was live earlier because I was doing something different. And that live only lasted about an hour, a little over an hour, something like that. And then I wanted to go watch Andy's live, so I stopped the live. And then after she was done with her live, I turned around and went back live because I wanted to sew and I wanted to spend time with you guys. So that's why I'm sewing and on a live. And y'all are going to probably see me burning up the airways over the next 2 months. Also, while I'm thinking about it, guess what next month is? I meant to say yummy, but I hit the wrong button, says Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. Anyone want to guess what next month is? Mini chocolate chip banana muffins. That's interesting. Katie, get ready to go to the retreat with Donna. Oh, sorry. Let me read that again. Delia says, getting ready to go to the retreat with Donna next week when she arrives. So gonna make some fudge and a few other treats for all to enjoy. Oh, that sounds like fun. Danny says, how many hours are you going to be live on this live? Oh, I don't know, 3 hours maybe. Probably about 3. And then I need to get, then I'll probably get off. Anniversary of your YouTube shows, and Lori is correct. So I have to decide when I'm going to do. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to run a really long live, number one. I just got to figure out when, because Saturday is, it's me and then it's Mona and then it's William behind that. So I don't know. I haven't decided how I'm gonna handle because I know the New Year's Eve live is going to be on a Thursday. That 12-hour live will last actually 12 hours. But I was thinking about doing like a 6-hour live to celebrate the channel. Probably about 5 or 6 hour live to celebrate the anniversary of the channel. I will be doing some giveaways, not just gift cards, but the mail system has improved enough. I feel confident enough that I can pack some giveaways into shipping bags and mail them out. And this, I do want to give away some notions that I don't use that came in some boxes and they haven't been used. And so those will have to go into small boxes, but I want to give away some stuff and because you guys have helped make my channel what it is. I haven't done this alone. I mean, yes, I do the work, but y'all come and sit and watch and hit the like button and make comments and come watch me on my lives. Some of you have watched me go, or some of y'all have actually stayed on some of my longer lives. And I am so appreciative of every one of you because of that. All right, where's my instructions? I need to look at this picture. Let me see. Mary says, hi, Katie and everyone. Welcome, welcome, Mary. So, yeah, I will, I'm going to have you, for the giveaway, I'm going to need people to fill out the form. So I haven't figured out, probably what I'll do is, about mid-August, so pay attention to this. Mid-August, I'm gonna send start sharing a link on my channel, okay? And all you have to do is go fill out the form because, like I said, you've heard me say this in the past, I am not chasing your behinds down. So the purpose of the form, so that you can be in, you have to do the form to participate in the drawing. I'm not asking you to do any questionnaire or anything like that. You're just going to give me your name, your YouTube name, your email, and a physical address because some of the giveaway will be mailed out. Some will be for gift certificates. So there'll be a question in there on should you win a gift certificate. On that form, it'll give you a choice of Amazon, Fat Quarter Shop, I think Michael's, I think I figured out Michael's and a couple other ones, and you'll have a choice of one of those. And so we will be doing a giveaway and a celebration. And someone just asked me what I'm working on. Denise says, what is wrong with Air Greenland? That's a really good question. I am working on this block, Delia. It's called Trailblazer. And I'm doing 2 different colorways with 2 different kinds of fabric. Right now, I'm doing one with the Hoffman coffee shop with additional color. And the other one is from Handloom. This, as you can see, those are the only colors you can use. And it's through the Handloom wovens. So it's interesting sewing with 2 different types of fabric because I always thought that batiks were stiff. That's stiffer. That fabric right there is even stiffer. So it's been fun messing with both of them because I tend to lean to the batiks anyway, as most of you know. Danny says, everyone sub to Katie. She's the best. Aw, you're so sweet. Katie is the best sew and quilter. Thank you. But anyway, so I will start reminding you about the giveaway and I'll get the form created for you to fill out. Now, the last time we did a drawing, because I gave away 6 gift cards, only 15 people filled out the form. There's hundreds of you guys. Mary says, be right back. Okay, let me stick these under the iron. So with the giveaway, it'll be for the anniversary. And then I'll do another giveaway at the end of the year during the 12-hour live. Also, start thinking about sharing your projects over the next 4 months. You can, if you're on Facebook and you're in my Facebook group, start sharing your pictures. If you're not, you can share them on my community tab, or you can email them to me and you can enter as many pictures as you want to, because during the 12 hours, we're going to do a trunk show that honors you, the viewer. It won't, not, during that whole 12 hours, I won't be showing anything of mine. It's going to be all about you guys, just like I did last year. So if you don't use either of the platforms to put pictures up, I just told the bot to share my email, and you can email them to me, and then just tell me the name of your pictures and whatever you want to be said about the quilts. It can be quilts, it can be bags, it can be anything that you do that's artistic. It's not specific to just quilts. So any fiber will be, you can share. So this is supposed to be on the outside up there. So we're going to put this strip in the middle. And that's not long enough. Where's my long piece? That's for the short end up here. I didn't cut another piece, or I lost it one. Okay, that means I got to cut a piece. Let me see how long that was supposed to be. $11 inch. Wait, is that right? Bear with me here for a minute. I need to measure something. Yep, that's how long it's supposed to be. Okay, I need to move this stuff out of the way so I can cut it. So 11 inches because this is folded, I think. Yeah, it is. So if 11 inches would be 5.5 when it's folded. And 5.5. Yeah, 11. Yeah. Aunt says hi, Katie. Tell your aunt hello back. My aunt is doing good right now. She is still working. Well, that's good to know. Do you have to use a bigger needle with that thick fabric? No. I mean, I don't know that. That's an interesting question, Rhonda. Do you know that it hadn't occurred to me to do that? I've been using what size is this one? This one's an organ. It's an organ 80, I think, or something like that. 80. Yeah, I think it's an 80. I have it laying around here somewhere. It's a universal needle. I can tell you that much about it. I'll have to ask that question, though, if you're supposed to use a different size needle for wovens. I didn't know, that's the first time thank you for bringing that up. Where did the poll go? It's still there, Denise. It hasn't gone anywhere. Because it looks like, hang on a second. So far, 20 people have voted, and it's still here intact. So what I'm doing right now is I'm cutting a long strip that I need for the center between these two sets of triangles. Thought I had cut it, but maybe I didn't. Which is strange for me, because I could have sworn I had cut all of it. But you never know. Let's see, it's supposed to be 1.5 inch. Right. Now then, what I'm going to do is, because I have a fold here, I am going to, instead of me having to use a really long ruler to cut 11 inches, I folded it in half, and then I'm gonna cut it at 5.5 inches, which 5.5 by 5.5 is 11. And it should be the right size. And it says hi back. Rhonda says, I don't know very much about the differences with that. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Now, I know if you sew denim, you do need a bit heavier, heavy duty needle for that. And I also know that if you sew knit, it's a different kind of needle for knit fabric, which I'm going to be making. I bought some knit fabric. I'll show it to you one more time. I showed it to you from the hospital, the hotel hospital room, but I'll show it to you because some of you may not have seen it. But I am going to make either, I can't make my decision yet. I don't know if I want to make a tunic with it, where it comes down to just below my hip or right at the bottom of my butt, or do I want to make a night dress out of it because my night clothes are wearing out. So it's like decisions. All right. So as you can see, I'm about to pin the one side of this together. Then we'll sew it, and then we'll sew the other side to it. Okay, now I'm going to ask another question. What's your favorite quilt block? Schmitz has a nice little book about needles and what to use for. Yeah, that's right, they do. And I think I might even have a book laying around here somewhere if it didn't get sucked out of the window when my sewing room got destroyed. Because I'm discovering things that are missing that I know I had them, and now I can't find them at all, which means they probably ended up out the window when it got broken. Okay, I'm gonna do this the usual way. I got to go to end. Wait, Danny says, I got to end the live. Okay. See you if you come back. Cheryl says Ohio Star. Danny says Christmas. Danny says, bye, Katie. I got to go to bed. All right. Cindy Soret. Mona says, Cheryl, I love the Ohio Star. What is your favorite quilt block? What time will you be live again? Oh, tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern Standard, which is 7:30 Greenland time. I almost messed that one up. Rhonda says Jelly Roll race variations. All right, Cindy Surratt, Danny. Thank you for dropping in. All right, we got this side pinned. Now we can sew it. It's interesting because, you know, when I sew batiks so much that, you know, they're always a little bit more substantial compared to regular cotton. But then I go and mess with wovens and discover wovens are even more substantial. Kind of like them. Hunter Star, and I've never made one. Mona, let's see, wait a minute. Mona says she's off to bed too. Cindy Surratt, Mona. Once you figure out how not to lose your points is great. Cheryl says, good night, folks. Great conversation. Thanks. Thank you for dropping in, Cheryl. Cindy Surratt. So people go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. I mean, 9 o'clock at night, I mean. What time is it now? Anyway. Oh, it's 12. So it's 11:10. Yeah, 9 o'clock after 9. Delia says, night, Mona. And so does Denise. Okay, now then, what I'm going to do, because I want to make sure everything lines up, I am going to be marking this so that I know where to put this pin, which means I need this. All I'm doing is making sure that when I line these triangles up, they're correct. This is keeping me in line with it anyway. Okay, now let's go ahead and pin this other side. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the center of these two seams go right where I just marked this with a pencil. Okay, that seam is not closed properly. All right, now let's pin it. Okay, do you prefer hand quilting or machine quilting? What say you? Delia, have you ever entered any of your quilts into any shows? Rhonda says machine. Let me ask everybody that question. Grant says machine. Jean says machine. I'm gonna ask a second question because I want to inquire into this. Have any of you entered any quilts into a quilt show? I quilt by check. What does that mean, Lori? Rhonda says, nope. Mary says, hi, I'm back. I prefer machine quilting because I have arthritis in my hands, so needles are kind of hard to hold for long. Oh, gotcha. Jean says, no. Mary says, nope. Darn, I was hoping somebody did so I can ask questions. Rhonda says, I don't know that I have the skills to make them good enough for a show. Yeah, there's that. I send them to the long armor, says Lori. Oh, got ya. Judy says, I have not entered any of my quilts into quilt shows. I'm getting better, but I don't feel I am at that point yet. We'll be using my Amara this winter and get back on track with it. Oh, that sounds like a plan. Well, I was hoping to ask some questions, but none of y'all have done it, so I struck out tonight. Mary says, I'm still trying to sew a straight line, laugh out loud. There's an art to sewing in a straight line. I get that. Katie, ask Donna from Handmade by Ying. She has entered a few quilt shows. Okay. So I have a couple questions. One of them, well, these two blocks that I'm working on right now, one is for the Hoffman challenge and the other one is for the QuiltCon 2027 challenge. And but I'm following the rules. I am doing that. But the thing is I've never, number one, entered anything into a show or anything to even see what happens with it's number one. And number two is, do I mean, when you're getting ready to do this, is there a category for beginners who's never done it? Because I wouldn't mind entering the beginner category too, because I don't consider myself to be anything but maybe a beginner advanced right now. I still don't know enough, I don't think. And I'm not, this is not a negative comment. It's the way I see it. I feel like I still have a long way to go before I can consider myself more than just a beginner. I want so here's what it is as Jean is I want feedback. So um I know many judges give feedback and it's a good way to find out what you're weak at to fix. And that's why I'm not after a ribbon or anything. I'm after feedback. And what better way to do it is stick it in a quilt show where you can get feedback on it. And and they tell you, well, you need to work on this, or you didn't do this right, or um you can improve by doing this, because it would help me judge where I am on my it'll help me judge where I am on my skill set. Because that's what I'm working on is my skill set. Delia says that she believes Donna did a little quilt swap for QuiltCon 2024. You did? Okay. Well, I can't swap this because this is going to get entered in a show. Well, I hope if the pick, uh, if if they pick it. That's a big word, if. Delia says, I hear you, Katie. It's a good way to see where you are in exactly. That's what I'm after. I'm not after wanting to win anything. If a quilt even makes it in the show, that says something, right? Because they don't just choose every quilt that's entered to be in QuiltCon. They go through there and select certain ones. And so, you know, if it makes it into a show, then at least it lets me know that I did something right. And that's what I'm after is feedback. Ask Sherry, she's always eager to help and excellent skills. Not all shows are judged too, says Grant. And Mary says, I finished the tropical house block and halfway through a second one. I'm having a lot of fun with those. Oh, that's awesome. I'm just eager to see where, if someone, you know, can tell me where they think my skill set's at. I mean, I feel like my sewing over the last 2 years has really improved drastically. I'm getting where I know what I'm doing most of the time. I still turn half square triangles upside down though. There's that. I know many send quilts and many are not picked. Yep, I'm aware. And if it doesn't get picked, then maybe it's not good enough. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to figure that out unless they give feedback as to why they didn't pick it. Oh, I went in too far on that one. That's wrong. I know many. Okay, Rhonda says I will be lurking, but not commenting because I'm going to go into the sewing room to pull and cut fabric for the quilt of valor. And then Jean says, nope, for me still, I couldn't handle the negative. Only positive for me. I bet a quilt club would help you, but you don't have any there. Exactly. I don't. Now, the Connie, I don't know how many of you watched my interview that came out yesterday. She quilted 4 of my quilt tops, and she told me that it was a joy to quilt my quilt tops because they were easy. And you know, and I had forewarned her ahead of time that I press all my seams open and all that kind of stuff. And she says, you don't have to tell me that because it's no big deal. It was no big deal for her having open seams. But she said that my work was so clean and she was amazed by that because she said she's had some that look pretty rough. And but mine, she was very encouraging about it. Said that she thought my work was really good. And you're not supposed to toot your own horn, but it made me feel good to hear her say that. All I got to do is get the binding on all 4 of them. I wish I could and that's the other thing. The binding, I do pretty good, except when I get to the corners. And I still don't have quite, remember how, I know some of you've heard me mention how I've been learning the mechanics of blocks and things, that I've really worked on that a lot to learn to understand how they work. Binding is another one that I need a better understanding of, especially on the corners. You need an over cynical friend who never tells you good job. I tried hand quilting and I was so pleased, but no, my stitches were too far apart, says Deb. What about talking to Sean? Now Sean is one of these that he's another one that thinks his work's not good enough, and then he goes and gets a blue ribbon. I think people can give feedback to people like us without being nasty about it, you know? And there's plenty of judges out there that give you constructive criticism without being mean. Because I think I'm my worst critic. Katie, if she long arms quilts for a living, she would at least know what looks good, not necessarily what you would hear from the judge, but I think that she would know compared to what she sees. Yeah, she told me that she thought my work was beautiful, is what the way she put it. That the back of the quilt was just as wonderful as the front side of it. And not all of them were batiks. Two of them were cotton. Two were batiks and two were cotton. I just want to know where I am on it. Julia, are you back home yet? Or are you still traveling? I know you said you're going to go do the quilt retreat, which means leaving again. Taking taking a workshop is also a good way to get feedback. Some teachers are also judges. Yeah, that's a great idea. If I could attend, I know that I have to go back to the States after the first of the year because I have to deal with my passport. So I'm gonna go to QuiltCon and probably road to California. And I thought about taking a class or something while I'm there, or I really want to take a binding class. Hello, Katie. Hope you're well. Yes, I'm good, Jan. What about you? Just sewing because I didn't want to yeah, I wanted to sew and I wanted to hang out with you guys. So that's why I'm online this time of the night. And you're probably going to see a lot of it over the next 2 or 3 weeks because I am on a mission to get some things done, like these blocks for one thing. I'll show you what the next block is going to be when we get done here. Um, and I'm painfully trying to be patient because the one block I want to do the most in this BOM hasn't been given out yet. Because it is a beautiful block. Well, they're all pretty. Don't get me wrong. I think this quilt is going to be interesting to look at. She says, good here. Delia says, I am home and we'll be leaving end of August to go out west for the month of September. And then another quilt retreat in October in Kentucky. But after that, home. Okay. My old Kentucky home. All right, we got this one done now. So now, after I get the iron to it, what did I do with this one on the back? Okay, that has open seams. All right. Okay. Has anybody seen Andrea? Oh, and someone give me some information, and I don't know if this is the case for Teresa or not, but Teresa might have had to vacate, her and Brandon might have had to vacate their house because of a big fire that's in her area. But that's speculation, just saying. Apparently part of Idaho in the area where she lives at was on fire. It was on the news. And had been on fire for about 3 or 4 weeks. Okay, so we got this part. Now, I'm almost done. Okay. So as you can see by the camera, let me try to move some stuff out of the way. I have small space here, I know. This one's going to go in, see how they're going to go in 2 different directions? All right, so now what I got to do is I've got to sew these 2 together. And I got to make sure that the 1/4 inch seam here and everything, you know, lines up like it should. Hope they are safe. I do too, Jan, because we've not heard from her for a little while. I'm hoping she's off gallivanting the United States in their camper. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up these points because I don't want to chop them off. And I'm going through the center of the seam in between the two so that I can pin them. And hopefully they'll be all lined up nice and pretty like they're supposed to be. Then I'm going to put a pin in one side and then I'll come back to the opposite direction and put on the back side too. But first I want to get all of these points lined up first. And then I'll read to you about this Trailblazer block because we haven't had a discussion about this particular block yet. I need to sit down and do some writing because there's some writing assignments that go with these blocks. And I'm going to make I think what I'm going to do to write when I start writing them is I think I'm going to put them in a blog. And then if anyone's interested in reading the blog, they can go over there and read about all of this. Because this has proved to be a very, the sew itself, the blocks, the pattern, for the most part, except for one of them, I don't feel that it's been difficult. I've only had one where it really challenged me, and there's one coming up that looks like it's going to be super challenging. So it's going to be interesting to see how that is. Hey, Rita. How are you doing, hon? But it'll be interesting to see how that block goes, because it looks like that block's going to be paper piecing, which is right up my alley. I'm super excited about doing that. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do the colors. Because like I said, one is limited on its colors, where you only use what came in the kit, or not. Well, it's not exactly a kit. It's a bundle. And this one with the copy shop, I have to use so many of the copy shop colors, but then I can add other colors. That's why I'm using turquoise in this. I've added orange into it, and I'm going to probably add green at some point. And I have been using pink. There's pink in this one. And most of this is Hoffman. All of this block here is all Hoffman, except I don't know who this is by. Right here, this teal color, I'm not sure who that is. But this is all Hoffman, the rest of it. So it's still within the Hoffman fabric range. We're almost ready to sew this. Okay, let's do this. I keep losing leaders. I already got it in the machine. That's funny. Is that like a double-sided arrow design? Yeah. See, this is what it looks like, Rita. It's called Trailblazer. No flying geese are involved in this. Just half square triangle. Okay, let's hope we got this lined up properly and didn't chop off any tips. Otherwise, I'm gonna be fixing them. Oh, they look great. So let's get this pressed. And then I'll put it on the design board where y'all can see it. Just one more second, and I will put it on the board where you can see it. Okay. It needs some more pressing, but I think it'll be fine. Here you go. Delia says, good night, Katie. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. Thank you, Delia, for dropping in. And then Rita says, that would look good if you made it smaller and used it as an outside border around a quilt or wall. Well, yeah, this is part of a pattern I'm doing. It's a paid pattern I'm doing. Okay, so let me talk to you a little bit about this block. Okay. So then I'm gonna after I read it about the block to you guys, I'm gonna show you what the next block's gonna look like, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut the wovens for this same block I just finished. Okay, so eudaimonia is the Greek word for human flourishing. The designs are inspired by the ancient question of what means to live well. The Trailblazer block is inspired by the importance of forging your own path in ways both big and small to spark innovation, drive progress, and inspire growth. And then there's a writing assignment that comes with this. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, no, it's not there. Wait, this is the next one I'm doing. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, because that's May. I'm just finishing April's. Oh, my writing assignments are in here. Okay, so there's the writing assignment or what it talks about for this block. Hang on a minute. Got to find the right one. Okay, so this is the Trailblazer, like I said. So part of the writing assignment says, as you piece your trailblazer block, let these prompts guide your reflection on the interconnection of all things. Trailblazing doesn't always mean grand gestures. Sometimes it's small. It's the small private act of doing something your own way in a world that tries to keep you in the mold. Where in your everyday life, in your making, your relationships, or your routines, are you quietly, persistently forging your own path? Have you given yourself credit for that? It also talks about avoidance or alignment. What is the difference between a path you haven't taken because it genuinely isn't right for you and one you haven't taken because you were afraid of what people would think? Sit with that distinction. Yeah, honestly, if there's anything currently living in the second category, that deserves deeper consideration. And then it talks about the quote behind the block ends not with arrival, but with the leaving a trail. Who is walking behind you, whether they know it or not, watching how you navigate your own life and considering your actual choices day to day. What kind of trail are you leaving? How does that align with the trail you want to leave? And then it talks about fear down here. So these are great writing assignments that go with making these blogs. So I've been working on the writing part of it. The writing I find harder because it's just harder for me, but I'm working on it. Okay, so the next block, which will be, because this was April, and when I finish the woven block, then I will move on over to May, and I'll show you what the May block looks like, because it's called Kismet. And it's gonna be interesting trying to make this block with the limited colors I'm allowed to use. Okay, this is the block for May. I already know what I'm gonna do for the top of it. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna use the colors here with the batiks and with the wovens, because this is the only colors you can use in the wovens. All right. Now then, let me see here. Hey, KK, how are you? Hi, Geraldine. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting the next block, which is the other colorway. All right, which means we will be cutting wovens. And I'll be making half square triangles as well. And I need to find my, somewhere I have half square triangle paper that I'm using for this. All right, what did I do with it? Because I think this was, I need to see what's, these have to be trimmed to 4-inch, it looks like. Yep. Hey, sweet Katie, says KK. It's good to see you, KK. I'm glad to see you. Happy to see you in my chat. So if these finish at 4-inch, no, unfinished 4-inch. Geraldine says pretty block. Thank you for that, Geraldine. I think these quilts are going to look different. They're definitely not me. Because y'all are used to me using colors that are in your face. So this is it's been challenging me, and I love the challenge. I'm having fun making it. I haven't the only one that really got me a little bit frustrated was the one with those long rectangle triangles, and I ended up improvising by making paper piecing for it because I got very frustrated with it because I couldn't get, like I said, I'm a bit angle, no, I'm a lot angle challenged. Let's be frank here. And that's why I was having such a hard time with it. And it was nothing wrong with the instructions. It's just the way my brain works with these angles, and sometimes it gets me into trouble. And because of that, I don't always, I don't always get it the first go around. And then I tried twice, and finally I said, you know what? Let's make some paper piecing. That will probably work. I already knew what size the unfinished part was going to be, and I knew they would be an angle from corner to corner opposite of each other. And I drew that line, and then I sewed it, took some scraps and sewed that first, tried it out the first go around, and it came out the way it was supposed to. So that's how I improvised. That's how I figured out to do it. Yeah, I need 4-inch unfinished. That's 4.5 finished. Where is my unfinished? Inch. So this needs really big paper. Already looked at that one. I have a feeling that I have laid it down somewhere and don't, because when I went to Nuke, I laid stuff down in here and kind of forgot to make sure I left it where I could freaking find it. 3.5, which means 4-inch. Wait a minute. Nope, that's wrong. All right. Break out the big guns here. I need my cheat sheet. So this is supposed to be 4-inch unfinished. So what size am I supposed to use? 3.5. Oh, duh. I had 3.5 right here in front of me, which I think is this one. It's either that or this one. No, right there it is. Okay. Denise says, glad it worked. Where there's a will, there's a way, the saying goes. Yes, indeedy. Delia says, I am back. Found what I needed, so hopefully good to go in the morning. Good deal. So tomorrow, my boss is treating us out. The whole staff actually is getting treated out tomorrow. So I'll be doing some stuff with my fellow colleagues tomorrow. And then I'll have the live tomorrow at 4:30, as long as things don't run into the, into my live hours. And if for some strange reason, here's what's going to happen about tomorrow. If I discover that I can't get home soon enough to start the live at the regular time that I always do it at, I'll just move it back by either a half an hour or by an hour, one of the two. But I will notify everybody on the community tab that normally come to my lives on Fridays, because I'm always consistent about that. And then suddenly I don't show up. That would be bad. But I'll be able to edit it hopefully from my phone. Hope. So so I need 12 of these. 2, 4. And Saturday it'll be 4:30 Eastern Standard Time as well. Sunday, I don't think I have any live Sunday other than with Sherry. And then next week I am going to I was supposed to have had a pre-record today and they didn't show up. So hopefully I have one more pre-record podcast next week too with someone else. So hopefully that'll go off without a hitch. And then we'll have that done. So let's see. 2, 2, 4. 12. But you're gonna see me while Nikolai's gone, you're probably gonna see me doing several late nights. Probably on Monday night and Wednesday night. Because I know I think Tammy has a live late in the evening on Tuesdays, and so I don't want to run into her late hour. But on Monday night and Wednesday night, I should be fine, hopefully. And then I'll do regular lives the rest of the time because I'm on a mission here. I have several things I want to get accomplished by the end of the year. And while he's not here, I am just going to work my little hiney off in between doing tour guiding. I know tour guiding's about to start picking up. Probably the latter half of August is going to be insane. But on a lighter note, there's a couple people on a cruise ship that I've known for a long time, and they're bringing me little gifts from the States. My husband is going to be a happy camper because one of those gifts is pretzels. Snyder's pretzels. And the interesting thing is she lives in Maryland, and apparently the company that makes the Snyder's pretzels is just up the road from where she lives. So I thought that was pretty interesting too. All right, where's my wovens at? Too many irons in the fire. I'll be right back, guys. Tessa, can you have those wovens? They're right there hanging on the basket. Yeah, just hang. I don't want the basket. I just want the wovens. Thank you. It looks like I'm gonna have to cut some. I thought I had some leftover pieces. Katie, Jan says, Katie, love the blocks. Thank you. Rita says, Katie, here's a question for you and anyone. What food is there that you can eat which has no smell, is not dairy or pork ingredients? Tofu. There ain't no way I would eat tofu. That's the only thing I could think of is tofu. Also does not have to need to have teeth to tofu. And thank you, Jan, for your comment. All right, now I have to decide how I'm going to lay out my colors for this block, since I'm limited on what I can use. I definitely already know I'm using this dark blue. That's the darker color, and this is also a darker color too. So we're going to use those two as part of the darks here. And then I think I'm going to use this light orange here. And let's see here. Do I want to use this color, or do I want to use, I think I'm going to use this one. And then of course we have the white, which I need to see where that's at. Is the white sitting over there somewhere?
What?
Nothing. Oh, it's right here. I was looking for this. See? Tofu, probably. Jello would be another one. Does it, why can't it have smell, Rita? Rita says also does not have the need to have tea. Geraldine says, is the tour guiding during the week or it doesn't matter. It's any day of the week. I just don't know when until 3 or 4 days before it happens. Okay, I need to know the width of this. Smell of food is making me super sick. You don't have COVID, do you? You'd always put a clothespin on your nose just so you can eat. I know that's silly, but is it everything that smell wise is making you sick, Rita? And if it is, have you talked to the doctor about it? Because that don't sound right. All right, let's cut this. It doesn't have to be perfect since we're paper piecing this part. I've had COVID twice and nope, do not think it's that. When did you start having the sickness where smell is making you sick? So after you got out of the hospital? I've never had COVID, so I didn't know. I know my doctor's about to add another vaccine into my repertoire. I could do this like this. And then I'll have to cut that strip. I have had, okay, she's not answering. Maybe it messed something up with your sinuses because you had that heat thing happen. I would call the doctor and talk to the doctor about it, especially if you can't eat. So we're using 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. So we've got one more to go. Damn. I use them on the next go round. Y'all still with me? I know we're getting to the golden hour here. Is everybody all right? I don't see any chatter going on. Well, there's 30 people watching, so there's that, which is good. Talk to me. Talk, talk, talk. All right, one more color to cut. And then we'll start working on these half square triangles. Well, I got to cut white too, come to think of it. I know I don't have enough white cut. These woven is super interesting. Okay, one more to cut, and then we can start making half square triangles. Don't forget your poll. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Should do that here in a minute. Jean says, did you see my yes? Yeah, now I see it. It's like it was stuck. Hey, Nancy, how are you? All right, let's cut some white because we need some more because I don't have enough. So we're going to have to cut a piece. Do, 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 do. Okay, one more to go, and then we can start doing this. Right, now we've got all the colors I need. Now here comes the fun part. We're going to do half square triangles. Yeah, I think it went to sleep too, Jean. That's why I didn't see any movement. Hi, Robin. It's been a minute. How are you? I hope everything's okay your way. So, because of the way I'm doing this, I'm going to have some extra sets of triangles of these colors left. It's not going to get used in this block, and I'll probably get to use it somewhere else. So I'm not too worried about it right now. Oh, shit. Okay. What I'm doing is getting rid of the selvage so I don't have to deal with it later. I'd rather not deal with it. I could, well, actually, you know what? To save time, we'll leave it on there and I'll trim it off after the fact. As long as what I'm lining up doesn't come in conflict, I should be fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm laying these face to face because I'm going to make half square triangles. But I'm going to cheat a little bit. Because I'm going to use paper. Because I want to get as accurate as I can with these. Because like I said, I'm doing this as a challenge. Okay. All right, let's get that first paper up here. Lay it on here so I can see it. And then I'm going to trim it. Down here on the other end, I'm going to cut. I won't be using any more of the blue, but I'll use this blue later on another block because it seems like these blocks, I'm reusing parts of this because it's the same size. So I'm not wasting anything. Put it that away. It's not getting wasted. Now I am going to turn this over because I want to make sure that I have this lined up right. One thing I've discovered about this woven fabric is you have to be a little bit careful and don't act when you're cutting it, making sure that your rotary cutter cuts all the way through, because if you don't, you try to pull on it, you end up with a snag right in the line or the way this is woven in. You'll see it, and you shouldn't be able to see that. What are you making? I am making the second block with a different colorway of this block. I'm making Trailblazer. This is part of the hand and soul block of the month. So this is the fourth block. See the blocks behind me, Robin? Those are part of hand and soul. That's what I'm working on. It's two different challenges I'm participating in. I hope to get finished before the due date. That way I can get them quilted and sent back to me. And then all I'll have to do is bind them and take pictures and then send them in, and we'll see what happens. Either they'll say no or they'll say yes. I am hopeful. Thank you, Robin. Hey, have you finished your hexies? When last we talked, you were still working on them. I've missed you. Grumble. Oh, I love those blocks you were doing though, Katie. Very nice. What are you grumbling about? Because I'm using paper which you don't like? Is that what it is? I knew you would. Sorry, Charlie, but this is how I'm going to do it. So those two blocks you have hanging up now are part of the same quilt then? Yes. You haven't seen all the blocks, Rita? I already folded them up and put them in a tote, the ones I've already done. You'll see all of them on my community tab. I haven't had time for nothing, says Robin. Aw. Yeah, there's 4 blocks, Rita, that I've already done. Well, this is the 4th one. But I'm doing them in 2 different colorways and 2 different types of fabric, actually. The one I'm starting right now is the woven. The one I just finished, that is batiks from the coffee shop Hoffman colorway, except for the turquoise that's involved in it and the pink. But the pink and the turquoise are from Hoffman itself, just not part of the coffee shop but I'm allowed to use the other colors with the Hoffman coffee shop as long as I think I have to use 5 colors, which is what I'm doing. And you can see them. They're not like hidden somewhere. I just was not sure if they were all the same. Yeah, there's 2 different quilts going to be out of this, Rita. 2 colorways. They won't all go in the same quilt. Because I'm participating in 2 different challenges. Or at least that's my goal. Have you worked on that craft room? No. And 2, 6, 8. No, I haven't, unfortunately. Oh, I need to cut one more piece of paper. Dang. Nope. But we have been to IKEA. We already know what we're going to be buying for that room. And then when Nikolai comes back this go around, we're going to take that big cutting table out of the room. Well, we're going to go to Stark, buy some tarp so that we can wrap the top of that cutting table. When he gets ready to dismantle it, we're going to wrap it, and so that it's completely covered in the tarp, so that when garbage pickup comes to pick it up, they won't be getting cut or won't have glass in their skin. And it'll get disposed of so that I don't have to worry about my dog stepping on it either, because we can't get the glass out of the wood because it's raw wood. We tried. And the glass is too small. All you got to do is shine a flashlight and you can see the sparkles of the glass. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut the L part off or dismantle the L part of the frame and leave it one big square and then put a new top on it. That's the plan. And then after the first of the year, well, basically we're taking everything out of that room and packing it up. Everything's going to come out of the room. There'll be nothing left in there. And then we're going to go in there and deal with the rest of the glass. It's probably embedded everywhere that we haven't seen yet. Get it all out, clean it, reset. I know what I'm moving my design wall to the other end, which means I need to buy new flannel because the flannel on the wall even has glass in it. So, you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. And so after the first of the year, when we get the furniture, probably when I get back from the States and he comes back home again, we'll start putting all the furniture together because it's going to be a very efficient craft room by the time we're done with it. We're buying 2 new desks that are longer and wider, and we're going to butt them face to face. And that'll help with this lack of room I have for quilting. And because I need space for quilting, period. I don't mind the small amount, but this is too much, too small for me. My machine takes over half of the darn table up. So that'll solve that problem. And I can make the tables go up and down so I can stand and sew if I want to. And I'm probably going to put doors on all of the cabinet or the shelves because we're buying Billy shelves. And I forget what the corner shelf's called, but the corner one can have doors on it too. And I'll probably put doors on all of it so that it can keep dust down to a dull, you know, where there's not so much dust on stuff. And I can get it clear or I can get it where you can't see in it at all. So we're going to do all of this. We're going to have fun rebuilding the room. Katie, would it be less expensive to use fleece blanket instead? I don't know. I would prefer not to use fleece. Kind of like the flannel, to tell you the truth. I have one big long piece of flannel that is in the cold room. I just don't think I have enough of it for that big wall. I need to buy another big chunk of it. And I can't buy fleece here anyway. So either way, I have to order it from somewhere. I don't think flannel's that bad price considering how much freaking backing costs. I mean, it's expensive. I get it. And I'm not going to enjoy spending money to buy it. But it's probably something that what I can do while I'm in the States. I can go physically and see the flannel and find the one I want to really use because I think I'm gonna buy a thicker grade of it maybe. And then I'll just mail it home. Because I think I want to buy some so I can make some shirts with too. I love flannel shirts. right, let's start sewing these. I just wondered if I had, wait, Rita says, I just wondered as I have used both on my portable design wall, just wondering if one is better than the other one. I don't know. I mean, I've never used fleece. And to tell you the truth, I really don't like fleece at all, to be frank here. I'm weird like that for some reason. I just don't like it. Can you please move? All right. Don't want to move until I put the foot on. Just, oh, there it goes. Like, why aren't you moving? It's supposed to move to the center. Tiffany uses quilt batting for her. Yep, she sure does. Would you like, oh, wait. Yeah, I know she uses batting because I've seen that. And that is an alternative. It's just, I have used batting on these design boards that I use all the time. But when you put a bunch, well, I don't know though. She doesn't seem to have slippage with hers when she gets the whole quilt sewn together and she puts it back up there, unless she's pinning it and you just don't see her doing it. That's a good question though. It's a very good question. I use fleece due to I can get a large queen throw fleece blanket for $3. $3? Where do you get it for $3? I don't think anybody could buy a blanket for $3. Seriously? $3 for a fleece blanket in Walmart in this current economy? It must be a really cheap piece of fleece. I was trying to find I I buy these soft blankets that are I bought them from what's the name of that big department store, dang it, because they used to be one thing and then they changed to something else. Anyway, they sell these really soft blankets that have silk around the whole four sides of the blanket, and I went hunting for one because I want to order some because mine are wearing out. But my friend can send them to me from Syracuse. Guess you can't find them anymore, which really sucks because I'm back to square one again, trying to find a blanket that I like to sleep with. Because I barely sleep with a blanket on me, and it has to be super lightweight. All right, why do you keep catching underneath this? Dang it. The blanket is 50 by 60 inches. Well, that's a really big one. Oh, she says Walmart off season. That's interesting. Poll. Okay, what does the word aplomb mean? We have 32 votes, 6% voted for silence, 12% voted for disgust, 59% voted for self-confidence, and 22% voted for confusion. The answer is self-confidence. And hang on, I'm gonna read what it says about it. Aplomb means is the definition of self-assurance and poise in demanding situations, confidence in one's ability. The word aplomb comes from the French word aplomb, which means in a perpendicular or vertical position and is derived from the Latin plumbum, meaning lead. Example, she handled the unexpected questions during the presentation with aplomb, impressing her colleagues with her composure and expertise. Self-confidence embodies the essence of aplomb, which refers to a calm assurance in challenging scenarios. When individuals possess self-confidence, they approach difficulties with a sense of certainty and poise. This belief in oneself allows them to navigate stressful situations effectively, similar to how one might maintain balance on a tightrope. Just as aplomb signifies an unwavering steadiness, self-confidence empowers individuals to trust in their abilities, make decisive choices, and inspire confidence in others. Ultimately, self-confidence is the foundation upon which aplomb is built, enabling one to face challenges with grace and assertiveness. So that's the new word of the day. So 61% of you got the answer right. Yes, I am, Sean. How are you? Hey, how are you doing, by the way? I'm surprised to see you awake. He says, I'm sleepy. Yeah, because it's not like you to be up so late. When does your next exchange student come? Because August is here. And he says, Rita, I have 2 of those. I over-dried one and I can see the plastic shining through. Because of my neuropathy, I can feel the plastic. That's why I don't buy fleece. I prefer flannel because at least I know there ain't plastic petroleum crap in them. I'm a kind of snob. And Raven says, I'm back. Welcome back, hun. When I was younger, I bought fleece blankets for my kids. And I didn't know any better back then about putting fabric softener in with fleece. And I learned the hard way that it ruins fleece because it sticks to the fiber. And then every time you stick it in the dryer, it hardens it. So that's why I don't like fleece. Because it's not, yeah. It's not made from wool. It's not made from cotton or, yeah. Denise says Raven. But back then, that's all I could afford at the time until I realized that I was wasting money on it. Making sure I sewed both sides of this. Got one more to go and then I can start cutting them. Raven says, my Denise is here. Hey, Sean, are you still there? I have a question to ask you if you are. She says, I'm off to bed. Good night, all. Well, darn. I guess I'll try to catch you on another day to ask my question. Cindy Slorette. When you entered on your first time of entering a quilt for the first time, did you enter it as a beginner? I mean, do they have like beginner categories for those who've never entered a quilt? I mean, how does that work? Inquiring minds want to know. I mean, do they have like a beginning category when you first do it the first time? I mean, that's what I want to know. Or you just enter a category and you're judged like everybody else, whether you're a beginner or not. Sean says Virginia doesn't have beginner categories, so no. Okay. But some fairs do. Kansas, for example, has amateur and professional category. Well, what is considered professional? I mean, aren't most of us amateurs? Guild shows might. I am not sure if any fairs have specific beginner categories. Okay, I was just wondering about it because the two two challenges I'm doing right now, I wondered if I could enter in a beginning category too or not. One of them's for quilt. Well, I don't know where the Hoffman challenge is going. I think it's going in the um QuiltCon too, but I'm not for sure. Or maybe no, I don't think the Hoffman one's going to QuiltCon, but it will travel from other places if you're chosen. I don't know. This is the first time me trying to do something. But someone who accepts money for, wait, it gives a definition in the rules, but it's someone who accepts money for quilts. Oh, so yeah, I don't even, yeah. Hoffman goes to some of the Monesco shows. Yeah, because this one of these is for the Hoffman challenge. And the other one is for the QuiltCon 27 challenge that has to do with the wovens. This one right here, that's the wovens, and the other one to the left, the other side is the Hoffman. Hey, Katie. I mean, sorry, darn it. It says, "Hi, Katie. My guild just had a non-jury judge show. It's the first time in 40 years of sewing quilting I entered 3 quilts. I got a call. Someone wanted to buy one. She didn't call back. I quoted her 600, which many said is fair. It is fair. Don't go down on it. You get if they want it bad enough, they'll pay the money for it. And if they don't, then that's their loss." Yeah, Pam, I know what you mean. Oh, well, I'm not after a ribbon here. That's what I was explaining earlier. I want to enter. I'm entering both these shows because I want to see if my skill set is good enough now. I want to be. I want to know where I am on stuff. If it doesn't win a ribbon, I don't care about that. But if it finds itself into QuiltCon, that says something. Raven says fabric and time. And John says give it a shot. I mean, the most that'll happen is like, we're not interested. Which might make me think that it's not good enough. Fabric and time. Katie, your skill set is excellent, says Pam. Yeah, I know y'all say that, but I don't know. It's a quilt, not just a blanket, says Raven. Sean says, if you're looking for feedback, then research the shows beforehand. Some give great feedback and others give very little, if any. Okay. I got to find one that'll accept me since I don't live anywhere particular in the United States other than, I mean, I have a permanent address in Florida and I probably could enter the Jacksonville show maybe. But I don't know. Sean says, I feel I've become better quilter from the feedback. Yeah, that's what I'm after. I want feedback, man. I want someone to say, hey, you did good on this. I'm not even looking for kudos or anything. I just want to know you need to work on this. It's good, but you should do this, you know. I know one thing that'll hang me is binding because I don't feel like my binding always looks like crap. Jean says, got to go. Bye. I'll see you later, Jean. Thank you for coming. Sean, great idea for the show. We should we should discuss this on a live together. I agree with you. We should do that because I want to know. If you want to give it a go, I encourage you to give it a try. Being willing to is the hardest step. Yes. And I'm not expecting to win a thing. I just want feedback more than anything. I just don't think my work's good enough for ribbon stuff. Maybe my sugary do is, but even that's got mistakes in it. Sean, do you know if they judge facings like bindings? I know many of us don't think we bind well, says Pam. Sean says, okay, I'm really heading off to bed. Chat with y'all later. Aww. Now you got to run when we're trying to pin you down for comments. I should have asked earlier when you first came in, and then I just now remembered. Sean says, yes, they generally do check the binding. Mine gets a decent grade, which surprised me. Denise says, you keep doubting yourself here. Why would a judge not believe you? Be more positive about your work. I'm not being negative. I'm stating it like it is. Until I, does that say 1:55 or 1:35? What time is it in Eastern time? You can send me some photos and I'll judge it for you, says Sean. Yeah, I know you would. That's actually a great idea. I'll have to do that because I just had some quilts quilted, so to pick one of them like that. I did it my way one after I get the binding on it. 22:55. Okay, so that is 10 o'clock. Oh, well, it's about to be 11. Yep. Okay, now then, what I've got to do is make sure all these half square triangles are a certain unfinished size. Then I can take the dog ears off or the ears off, and then I can pull the paper off. It's almost 10 here, almost 11 by Sean. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop soon. But I wanted to get these done. And then I'll think about whether, yeah, because tomorrow we got planned to do something tomorrow too, plus do my live tomorrow. And tomorrow's live is Friday. And I'm gonna do Katie Says tomorrow. So we'll be doing another Scrappy block. And then Saturday we will be test running that pattern I showed you guys tonight. Do you have to take son back to school soon? Asked Denise. Katie, you should not have trouble entering the bigger shows. Look how many entries comes from overseas. Okay, I'll look into that. I will do my best to watch tomorrow, says Nina. Hi, Nina. Yeah, we're gonna do the Scrappy thing tomorrow, the improv. I haven't decided on what the star attraction is going to be in the middle of that, but it'll be something. Who knows? We might make another star of a different kind to go in the middle of all that scrappy, yummy stuff. I know we're being taken out to eat at the Thai restaurant, so that's cool. I'm going to have cod. Did you finish your creative chaos? No, but I am probably about 70% through it. I just need to finish a couple things on it and then finish attaching the rows, and then we'll see what happens with that. But I'm getting closer. I just haven't done it on the live lately. Between us taking a vacation to Denmark and then me having to go to Nuke to see a doctor, which I was gone from Tuesday till Sunday for that. I haven't really had time to mess with it, but it's on my big to-do list to continue getting it done. That's a Rita says, okay, after contemplation of watching you, Katie, gave me food inspiration: Jello, applesauce, and watermelon, foods with no smell. I'm trying to think what else you might can eat that doesn't have much of a smell. Besides those three things, Jello definitely doesn't have a smell. Um, Now I am going to look and play catch up with the chat, says Rita. Yep, he walked out of the room because he's on the phone talking to somebody, probably his boss, or I mean, his skipper, because he should have been in Nuke today. And of course, he didn't make it to Nuke today because Air Greenland is so messed up. They didn't fly today because they closed the airport at 4 o'clock and his flight was at 3:56 this afternoon. They closed it because apparently they didn't have any staff. And the flight he's scheduled for on Friday is at 4. I think he said it was 4:55, but if they close the airport at 4 o'clock, that really doesn't make sense. I don't even know why they're closing the airport at 4 o'clock. So, and I think it's both airports that's got an issue right now because let me tell you what, trying to come home Sunday was ridiculous. I stood in a line for 2 hours this past Sunday, only and then they got about halfway through the line of the people going through it. And then suddenly they said, you have to go sit down because we have to load all the United Airlines people. So we sat for another 2 hours. And then it still had to go through security because that never happened until several hours later. So what time did I get home on Sunday? It was late.
Yeah, 3 p.m.
Yeah, and I had been there. I had been awake since 5. No, I'd been awake. I never went to bed actually because I had to be out at the front of the hospital at 5 a.m. And then he got us to the airport somewhere around 6ish. So from 6 until I flew at
1:30.
1:30, I sat all that time in a friggin' line.
I was calling my shipmate.
Oh, okay.
He was asking me when I'm going to Hoffman, when I'm going to Nuke.
Did you tell him maybe Friday?
Yeah. He wasn't like, what the heck? It wasn't very, I mean.
Hey, babe, can you take the ice out and freeze some more water for tomorrow, please?
Make some new ice cubes.
Yeah,
Yes.
for the cooler. I don't know if we're gonna be able.
Twice for this, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if we're gonna find ice tomorrow or not. So Air Greenland is in a big mess right now. And I don't know what's going to happen because of all the trouble that they're in right now. And it's got to be costing them money to continually hotel people because they don't get airplanes off the ground. Fortunately for here, Nikolai lives here, so there's no hotel cost. But there was a cost with the darn taxi and stuff because the airport is 9 kilometers from our house. Denise Raven says there are a ton of apartments around the school and they do 9-month rentals. They're not much more than a dorm. If he finds a roommate, they could get a split $1,400 a month in a 1-bedroom and save. Yeah, if you can get a place where you can share the rent, definitely. Okay, I think I got it. All right, now we need to get rid of these ears. Then I can pull this paper off. Okay, silly question, Katie. I guess, how can there be ice in Greenland? I would figure you would be like ice houses there year round. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Denise. Not Denise, Rita. You can't always buy ice from the store. It's not like what you and I are used to in the United States. In fact, sometimes you'll see a small bags of ice here. Over the last 3 or 4 years, you see them sometimes, but it's not very often. Now, when I was in Nuke and I was in Brucein, was it Brucein or Pacific? No, it was Pacific. I picked up a bag of ice there. But here it's harder to get ice. Denise says, I think dorms are fun. I wouldn't want a 1-bedroom with a roommate. Is everybody there except you?
Probably.
Oh, that's really gonna make Torbjorn fume, because it means you can't go to sea. They can't go to sea.
But apparently the ship's not going out yet either, because there's some machinery issues again.
Again?
There's some issues again that need to be fixing. I don't know what exactly it is.
Man, that ship is a big dud.
Well, she's an old girl.
She's definitely an old girl with lots of
25-year-old.
with lots of problems.
25-year-old ship.
Yeah, but that Kakaksia, how old was it?
Same.
And it wasn't having breakage every time you turn around.
Oh, yeah, we keep it pristine because we working on it all the time. But the other ship, we try to repair it as much as we can now because the other idiots, like Mullen, has kind of like neglected it.
They have neglected it. She says, I guess I just see Greenland as always being under ice year round. No, only the ice sheet is there. You really should look at Google Earth, Rita. You'll be surprised how much is not covered in ice. Remember that we live on the outside of the perimeter of the ice cap, and we cannot see it from our house. The only way you can go see it is by boat or helicopter. The whole center of Greenland's got ice, but not where everybody lives. And it's definitely not year-round out here in the winter months. I mean, we had 85-degree temperatures about 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. And I bet today it got up in the 80s. And I saw where Siberia was 105 degrees for a week straight. And so Siberia is supposed to be the coldest place on Earth. Not anymore. Too many people and not enough room, says Raven. $50,000 students. Wow. That's a lot of kids in one place. So you cannot actually get ice for use from one of the, no. Not unless you go out on a boat and decide to swipe some. But generally people don't eat the ice from the icebergs. Is it, girlfriend? Do you need to go shoo-shoo? Is that what the deal is? Yeah, I know. We'll take you soon. He's in the site on the day they open the dorm choosing. Hey, honey,
Yeah.
someone's saying a certain word. I bet you can guess who it is too. Rita says, ha ha, Raven did it, not me.
Did what?
Say the K word. See what you started?
It's becoming a trend.
Yes, it is. And Raven says, hi, Nico.
Hi, Raven. I forgot to show you this, though.
That's the first time all night it's made an appearance. And they've said the K word more than once tonight, but you weren't here when they were saying it.
That's because I got my headphones on.
Well, and also you went to do some interpretation or interpreting. You got paid to go interpret from Greenlandic to English, right?
Yep. Again.
Yeah. So he was an interpreter for someone today that was being interviewed for something. A book, apparently. Uh-oh, Rita says it should be ketchup with okra. Or with, no, with orca, sorry. Rita says, be ready. I mean, Nikolai says for Rita to be ready when he gets back from taking the dog on potty patrol. You're going to get it. Y'all are so funny. And Rita says, oh my God. Yeah. Nikolai took the orca out of jail. That thing better not bite me again like it did that night. That hurt, actually. Those teeth on that Lego piece, you wouldn't have thought they were sharp, but they were. All right, some of these can be used as leaders. That can be used as a leader. This one can be used as a leader. The rest of this is going in a trash can because I don't feel like dealing with it. I have enough sitting on my table right now of pieces of little stuff. Oh. The rest of that can just set aside. By the way, Katie, thank you for being a venting, or thank you for being a venting. I appreciate you more than you know. Yeah, you know, I read what you wrote. I just kind of don't know what to say other than I wish I could give you a hug and tell you you're in my prayers. I don't know if that's even going to help how you feel. But yeah, you can vent anytime you want to, and I'll read it. I might not say nothing back because I'm not sure what to say other than what I always say. I wish I could hug you, even though I know you don't like hugs. I have a feeling that this block is going to look nicer than the batik one did. But the batik one, I'm kind of having fun with the batik one too, because it seems like the coloration between these two are different, where this one's like very, I don't know, you can really see the colors, and the copy shop stuff seems a little more subdued to me, but it's probably because it is subdued to me. Virtual hug for Rita. Me needing to vent is important. I know. And you keep on venting, okay? I read all of it. And some of it shocks me. And I would be calling the cops. What you told me, did that happen at the hospital? Because if it did, why can't something be done about that? I know y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Just know that something not cool happened to her. There's too many predators in this world right now, and not enough people to combat them. Or not enough people who care to combat the predators. That's what it is. There's not enough people willing to stand up to them. Oh, see, I would be raising the roof. Since that's where that happened. And I wouldn't let it go until somebody did something about it. Girl, you need a champion in your corner. Y'all, Rita needs a champion in her corner. Yes, she sure does, Raven. She sure does. You don't want me to come over there because I'll tell some people about themselves. And it won't be nice what comes out of my mouth. Especially those kind of people. The cards were found in oh my God. What'd they do? Sneak in there while you were sleeping? Feels so bad for you. You've done nothing but have one problem, one issue hit you in the face after another one over the last year. You know, you and Andy, both of you. The last year's been tough on both of y'all. Really thought I was losing it. Come on here and realized that after you said worse after the hospital, checked and sure enough gave me a blank shot. Ooh, somebody's feeling springy. Did you get your business done? Why do you feel wet? Huh? Oh, must be from fog. He's back.
Right, Rita. Rita, here's your.
But yeah, she also mentioned Mr. Orca.
Oh, that.
That Orca was supposed to be in jail. She feels actually wet. No snapping my ears with that thing, or I'm going to. Oh. You have too much fun with that.
Yep.
I even asked them what they were putting in my IV. They told me, but it was scientific wording and said it was just an antibiotic. Uh-oh. Rita says, need to glue Orca to ketchup cap. Ah! And then Denise says, hold on, Nico, I need to catch up too. You guys. Oh, my Lord. Y'all are so funny. You are too funny. I'm about ready to lay part of this out. So, Nick, hold on, Nico. Oh, you already read that one. Okay. Okay, let's get these laid out so I can figure out how I'm going to lay them out. And then I think I should let you guys go on over to you know who's channel. All right, let me see here. Okay, I just got to make sure I get this going in the right direction. Nora, your tongue is cold. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this is going to, or the triangle part of it's going to look like. I still got to cut the other pieces and everything. That reminds me, I still got to cut the small squares too. Okay, and then we're going to use goes to that one. Uh-oh, we're missing. Oh, no, we're not. It's right here. Okay. Now, let me see here. You know, Katie, that is not fair. Those half square triangles beyond perfect. I try to make mine as close as possible, but wow, then I started using FPP, which is now all I use. I thought you didn't like using FPP. I love doing them when I'm looking for precision, and this is what I'm looking. This particular thing, I need precision. I need it to be slightly precise. It's still going to have flaws. They always do, but you know, I think that that is just too dark. Let's put it like this. I definitely need to get the iron into this woven because it's not laying down as flat as I want it to. But at least we'll be able to see the color here in just a second. As soon as I get the ones going in the other way. I'll show it to you in just a minute. They're not sewn together, just so you know, and I still got to cut some more pieces. I need to cut some rectangles and also need to cut some really small squares. So hang in there for a moment. And then I'll show you what it's going to look like. Because at least now you'll see what the triangle makeup's going to be like. Really? Now see, that should not have come off of that board. Let me try it again. Being annoying. Let me get it all laid back out again, okay? Or no, I don't want it together because we're not putting that smack dab to each other. Only the center goes side by side. It's because I need to press them. The reason it came off the board, I think. All right, let me try that again. Can you see it under the other camera? Flying half square triangles. That's a new one. Rita says, can see it now. Nico with a cape and ketchup bottle. I think he might have headphones on. Flying. Might have to use a sticky roller on the board to rejuvenate. Yeah, I'm thinking it's got too much stuff on it again. But can y'all see that okay? To try the camera again and see if they fall off again. It's weird how that camera doesn't see that that's, yeah. All right. So these, I'm gonna, I need to finish cutting the rest of the fabric for this. So I didn't use, let me see how I want to deal with this because I am limited on colors. So definitely have to have the white. All right, now I got to make a choice on what color I want to use. All right, so where's the picture at? There's the picture. So we can do one. I think what I'll have to do, because you're only allowed these colors in this one challenge. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to switch these squares where I have this color here, up here where the dark is, and then the dark down here where this is at. I think that's a good plan of attack. So let me go ahead and cut these, and then we got to cut some bigger pieces for the rectangles. Might have to, yeah, okay, I already read that part. All right. So let's get to cutting, because these are supposed to be, what size are these supposed to be again? Yeah. Well, I don't need that ruler. That's too long. Here's a shorter one. All right, let's get to cutting. How many of these are we gonna need? We're gonna need 3. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to cut another piece. Yep, I'm gonna have to cut another piece. Okay, so we got enough of this one now. Now what I'm gonna do is because this one looks like I'm done with angle sewing, so I can put my other foot back on my sewing machine because we can go back to doing the other way. I'm going to probably sew these small pieces together so that I don't lose them. And then after I do that, then I'll finish cutting the smaller strips that I need. Because there's 2 strips. 1, 2, 2, 3. There's 4 strips I have to cut of white. Here's 1. 2. And then number 3. And I'm probably going to have to end this soon because I am starting to feel uncomfortable. Meaning pain is overriding everything else right this minute. Okay, now I'm gonna cut a piece of this one also. Because we need 3 pieces off this one too. Tomorrow, maybe I'll get to do some fishing tomorrow. We'll see. Because I don't know, I'm assuming they're bringing fishing poles and maybe I can catch some cod. Cut one more piece. Okay, we're done with that piece. And then we're going to get it from the other way. I seriously need to cut my fingernails. I'm starting to look too long and rough looking. Especially these 2. All right, 1 more to go of this one, then I'll have left white. Okay. Are y'all fixing to leave the live? Or are you sticking around till I get finished with cutting? Okay, got those cut. Now all I need to do is the white. And we're going to need 4. And they need to be let's see if this is enough. It might be fine. Although I don't think so. I think I might have to cut 1 more piece. Okay, so this needs to be 1.5. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut another piece. Ooh, I'm gonna stop pulling that. One more piece. Okay. But basically, I all I have left to do, I have to cut some more white stuff, but I'm trying to get these small squares cut first. And then I'll come back to the white to finish cutting what else I have to have. And we need one more of the smaller. Okay, got that done. Katie, which block are you working on? I am working on the Trailblazer. It's this one. All right, now I need to cut some strips. Let's see, I need two of those. That's supposed to be, yeah, I need two. Let's get this cut. Long fingernails take a lot of work. Yeah, I'm not a, you notice that I don't wear fingernail polish or nothing. That's too much effort as far as I'm concerned. Not to mention money that I could spend on fabric. See, if it had been the case in Florida, it would have been the money would be going to plants, not my fingernails. I just don't do stuff. I mean, my friend bought me my first set of fake nails by taking me to a salon, and those stayed on for about 6 months before I finally had to go and get them taken off because they were annoying the crap out of me. Especially when I'm trying to dig in the dirt outside. Yeah, I thought so. So I need another strip. Is that the same block behind me? Yes. Right here. Yeah, right there. Only it's that one's the batik one, and now I'm doing the woven one now. Because I'm doing two colorways, remember? So yeah. This is block number 4, by the way. The next one is that Kismet, which is interesting block because it looks like a flower to me. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to use coffee shop fabric to do that with. That's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Fun, fun, fun. Actually, I think with both colorways, it's going to be interesting to see how that particular block comes out because I'm limited with the woven. All right, I got that one done. Now I need, how long are those two strips supposed to be? 8.5. Well, I might get enough out of that piece. Let's find out if I do or not. I might get that out of it. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, now then, I'm just going to cut it off right above the thing right here. And then we need 2 of those to be one thing. I'm gonna have quite a bit of little tiny scraps that I'll be able to use in the Scrappy Katie says thing because they're too small to use in because I don't think I'll be able to use it again, these really small pieces. But now I've got these done. And now we have these squares and rectangles done. Because these are rectangles and these here ones are squares. So we've got all that. Now all I need to do is cut 1. I think there's 4 of those I need. Yeah. I might have to cut another piece of fabric. Yep, gotta cut some more. Where did I lay that at? That here. All right. So let's get this cut. I really should be standing up to do this. Rita says, so I guess maybe with no comment of how many bottles of polish and nail gems, I might have a nail addiction. You have some long nails, girl. I don't know how you do anything with them that long. I would be screaming my brains out if I had them that long. Okay, what's the width of these supposed to be? Ooh, I need a different ruler. You know, this woven has interesting selvage on it. Then again, I was going to open up a nail salon and spa in this room when we first moved into the house 7 years ago, but then COVID hit, and that was that. But have everything needed to do it. I have had long nails for my entire adult life, so that makes a big difference. I'm too busy cutting mine off. They get, like right now, they're too long. Because if I don't cut them off, then they start breaking off. especially if I'm picking up totes and stuff. I tend to crack my nails every time I pick up like a suitcase, or it's very annoying. Ooh, that was crooked, I think. I think that ruler moved. I think it moved. It did move. Okay, now I think we might have all the moving parts we needed for this. So what I'm going to do is show it to you. It may not be sewn together, but at least you'll get an idea of how it's going to look. And then tomorrow, if I have time, probably not, because between what we're participating in stuff, it's probably unlikely. But you never know. I will try. So what I need to do is I'm going to need straight pins so these don't fall off the board. Oh, wait a minute. Let's do it like this first. And then I'll pin it with a straight pin. That way I can get them laid out the way I want them, so you could basically get somewhat of an idea of how this should look. And then they'll be safe until I sew them. If I don't get to them until after the live tomorrow, I might sew them after the live. I don't know. We'll see how far along we get with Katie Says tomorrow, because I would really like to make more than one block tomorrow for Katie Says, but we'll see. Someone asked me recently what size I was intending on doing for the Katie Says, and I still don't have an answer for that because I don't know.
Why don't you know?
Because I don't know.
Why don't you know?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good, that does not look right. Oh, it is right. I don't know. Sorry. You know me, going to a live, you know, and you never know, it might turn into a 5-hour live. Might turn into a 6-hour live. Like tonight. I should already be off here and I'm still not off, which is probably not good. All right. Now then, we need, do you know what the final layout is of this? Or yeah, actually I know what the final layout is of it, but am I going to do the final layout? Because I'm hoping that the next block on September 1st, I'm hoping for the specific block. And if that turns out to be the specific block, then I'm probably going to stop at that point and go ahead and start sewing the whole thing together, because I don't want to do the curves that's involved in the quilt along. And I think these will be big enough. This quilt will, or this quilt top will be big enough by the time I put borders and everything on it without the two, because I think I'm gonna make two. There's this block I'm waiting on. Dang it. The block I'm waiting on, if it comes out in September, I'm hopeful. We'll see. I probably will make two of that particular block, and then it'll even everything out, where I can go ahead and sew it together without the curves involved. So I really don't want to do the curves. Although it would make this thing look beautiful having them, but the problem is there's a cutoff date for these two challenges, and if I don't get it done quickly, I'm going to miss out, and then All of this will be for nothing. Although I don't think it's for nothing because I think it's going to look cool because it's something different y'all haven't seen me do. And, you know, I can always enter it into a regular quilt show the next year without doing it as a challenge. You can always enter it as a regular entrance into a quilt show, and we'll see what happens with it. I'm at a disadvantage because I'm over here. That's part of the problem here is I'm at a disadvantage. Oh, shit. Oops, sorry for the language. I just realized something. Sorry. Oh, I just tripped myself out here. Because this needs to go up here. I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think? If I don't make it for the challenge, but I can still enter it in a quilt, a quilt show next year, as a regular modern quilt, because this is definitely modern. But it would be nice to enter it in the QuiltCon challenge, which is what it was supposed to be for.
Yeah.
It's just with me being over here, it's making it harder to get it done. And plus, I picked a pattern that I really liked, and some of the blocks won't be given until a certain amount of time. So there's that issue too, which I knew that going into this, that could potentially happen. But I had intended on trying not to even do the curves. Because I can't there's no way I could figure it out by just looking at the picture. I tried to figure out some of the blocks and, ahead of time just to see what I thought that it might be. Boy, oh boy. It wasn't what I thought. I can tell you that. Not what I thought it was. How many miles away from you is Nico's ship? Oh boy, I can't even answer that because the only way to get to it's to fly. Denise, do you have a computer or are you on a tablet or something? The reason I'm asking is if you go on Google and bring up a map of Greenland, and if you look on the west coast, I don't know, about this far up on the map, you'll see Nuke. Keep in mind where Nuke is at, and then go all the way down to the very southern part of Greenland and look for Qaqortoq, and you'll see how big of a distance there really is. A big one. It would, how many days, babe?
Yeah.
How many days would it take you to sail from Nuke to here?
With the passenger ship, 2 days.
2 days, yeah. So by passenger ship, it would be 2 days.
Even a Kalaallit would take 2 days too.
Yeah, if he was on his ship, it would take 1.5 to 2 days. That's how far south we are. But that was a very good question, Denise. Greenland is big. It's not, where you can get on a highway and go to your destination. There's no highways, no roads. All there is mountainous terrains and the ice cap. And the mountains are impassable. That's why it's so remote here. That's why we've flown so long in a helicopter. That, they do have the passenger ship, but I've never been on it. One day I might just take a joy sail on it, but if I want to get where I'm going fast, I'm going to just fly and get it over with. Because traveling is very hard on me emotionally, or mentally. Shouldn't have said emotional. Mentally, it's hard on me, is what it is. Can't deal with people and the way they act when they're traveling. You kind of forget to be respectful and don't step on you or push on you or this is probably why one of the reasons why Rita don't travel because she probably doesn't like being pushed around either. An interesting thing happened Sunday when I had to travel back home. Because I had that big long delay and I had taken my medicine at 6 because I was supposed to fly at 8:15. So I always take my medicine an hour and 20, about an hour and 30 minutes before I fly. And I only had one tab left. So by the time it was time for me to fly, my medicine was done. There was nothing left of it. And when I got on the airplane, it was the same girl that was helping me going to Nuke. And she says, "Do you have your medicine?" And I said, "My medicine ran out because I took it at 7 this morning." And she says, "Well, I have some to give to you." So she, because I guess the pilot they'd already had a discussion about it, and they gave me medicine to take. Yeah, if you were traveling in a straight line, but you're not. What do y'all think? Uh-oh, something flopped down. It's not sewn together, just so you know. Y'all like it? How do I get to the tutorial to make this? Tutorial to make what? Oh, no one else wants to comment? I think y'all fell asleep. Rita, where are you? Do you know what the final Yeah, I know what the final hang on. Katie, do you ever get to go visit Nico when he is on the ship? I when he was on the Kakoxiak, yes. Since he's been on the Agomalik, I've never even been on the Agomalik. It just hasn't presented itself where I can go see it. Rita says, I love that block. Nina says she likes it. Chin likes it. Denise says yes. Let me find a picture of the actual quilt, Rita, so you can see what it looks like. but it'll be in their colorway, okay? So give me a minute and I'll find it and share it with you guys so you can see it. So hold on a second while I look for it. Wait, wrong keyboard. I need the other keyboard. All right, let me see what I can find. You dumb. How do you spell this again? Yeah. Wow, there's another. Oh. Okay, I'm going to show it to you just a second, okay? All right, now I'm going to go there. You'll see what the whole layout looks like, Rita. So give me 1 minute, please. All right, where did it go? I know darn good and well I just. All right, where did it go? That's a really good question. Where did it go? This is so annoying. Well, maybe it went to the bottom, huh? Nope. He went somewhere. Just a minute, y'all. I'm having a problem. I don't know what's going on here. It should have been right here in front of me. Oh, that explains everything. Oh, sometimes I crack myself up. Okay, now then, let me share the screen. And someone let me know, Katie, your link in the description works. Okay. Jean says, I'm awake. All right, let me know when you see what's on the screen. And I'll show you which blocks I have so far to make, because some of them's not made yet, but that's what I'm working on. Katie, yeah, all right, I read that. You should be seeing it by now, I would have thought. Okay, so I'm gonna run my mouse over the ones I already have downloaded. I've already made this one. The one on the top left I've made. The one to the right of that I'm working on right now. And then the one on the far right top, that one I don't even have the pattern for. That's the curves. On the second row, starting on the left side, we've made that one. The next block to make after the one I'm working on now is the one on the second row in the center. Then I have this next one to make. I already have the pattern for that one. Third row, I have the pattern for that one, but the two to the right of that, I do not have. And then down on the bottom row, I have the center one and the one to the far right, but I've not made the center one yet. So the one I'm hoping will show up next is this one that looks like a bird. And so this is their colorway. The one down there on the bottom center, it is all paper piecing. Because when I printed it out, let me find it. Because when I downloaded it, it's all paper piecing, pretty much. Oh, if I can find it. I keep moving things around. Where did I put them? I just had it. Anyway, one of these is full paper piecing. I don't know where I put the stuff that was on the desk. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting tired, and I think that's part of the reason I can't think right now. My brain is saying it's time to stop. Okay, let me unshare. So anyway, that as you can see, there's there's 3 blocks that are curves, and so it looks like they're doing 4 by 3. So I'm thinking what I want to do, unless they do put a curve in there and not give the bird, because the bird is what I wanted. Because I wanted to do 2 of those where I can maybe do 2 of the bird and maybe 2 of the ones that, like the one that's up in the upper left-hand corner, and do them diagonal of each other. I would have the same amount of rows. I just wouldn't have the curves in them. No, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, yeah. FPP for the bottom center. I love it. Yeah, it's FPP, definitely. I'm just trying to figure out where the heck I put it. I just had all this stuff in my hand. Oh, here it is. I'll show you. Let me move my keyboard out of the way. So this one's called Felicity. And the essence of philosophy is that a man should so live that his happiness shall depend as little as possible on external things. So that's what this block is about. But look, it's all paper piecing. See that? All paper piecing. So what I did is I printed the pattern, but I also went back and printed where it's all on one side. And I'll just leave the pattern intact. But I bought this pattern so that I could, yeah, because that one that looks like the bird, I think I have something in mind for that, maybe to use on other block or use on a different pattern. And also, I saw where they had taken some of these, like this one right here, because it's paper piecing. You can make a whole quilt just with that. That is a gorgeous block. Totally gorgeous. The bird one, is that FP? I don't know if I won't know until I get that one. And I'm hoping that that's September's block. If it is, then I'll know for sure then if that's paper piecing or if it's going to be piecing itself. I won't know until then. It looks like it might kind of be paper piecing, but I didn't know that one that I just showed you, this one was paper piecing until I started printing it. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful quilt top though. Oh my God. When I saw it, I just wanted to do it. And then I hem-hawed around for 4 or 5 months before I finally decided to pull the trigger and buy it. And normally, you know, I couldn't, you know, I didn't know if I wanted to spend that kind of money on it. But now I have the urge to buy a Judy Niemeyer, and that one's going to cost even more. I just don't know which Judy Niemeyer. It'll either be a Judy Niemeyer or a Jacqueline Jeong, or how do you say her name? Probably one of the two, because I think I'm getting close enough to being ready to tackle something a little more challenging, where it's all paper piece. I mean, I have the legit kit with the polar bear. I'm just still not feeling it with it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. I just don't want to sew it for some weird reason. And I can't explain why that is. Maybe because it's restrictive of color. That might be what it is. I don't know. And maybe I'm just over dramatizing the whole thing. I don't know. Okay. Tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, as long as nothing happens. If something happens, check my community tab. Say if you see if it looks like change the time on the live, then more than likely something got in the way and I had to move it back just a little bit. But if not, then be ready to do Katie Says tomorrow. Jen says, I just took Judy Niemeyer class. It is a table runner and it is fun. Yeah, I really want to do one. And I feel like I'm more than capable of doing it. It's just paper piecing. It's a matter of whether I can handle something with curves that you have to sew together. That's probably where the challenge will be, if I choose to do a pattern that has circles in it. Sorry. Anyway, thank you for tonight. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for helping my channel and being here all the time. And Rita, you are in my thoughts and prayers. I wish there was something I could do to help ease your pain right now, but I know there's not. Just know that we're thinking about you and that you'll always be on our mind. And Jen says, you can do it. I think I could do it too. You know, I don't know if you watched the interview with Connie yesterday, but those Judy Niemeyer quilt tops we showed in the trunk show, she had never done any of that in her life. This was a beginner doing those quilts. And I saw them in person. And oh my God, she just blew me away with them. And every one of them, except for one, was done in batiks. It was crazy how beautiful they were. And I just loved it. Katie, you're doing something, I assure you. I hope so. In the meantime, try to get some rest, Rita, if you can. Know we're thinking about you. And the rest of you, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. What do you do? And Jen, it's good to see you, by the way. Just follow each step, she says. Yep. You know, when if they weren't, if it wasn't so expensive, it would be fun to do as a sew along with other people. But they're too expensive to ask anyone to sink that much money into one. But they sure are beautiful. Anyway, Cindy Surratt, remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. What do? You make something beautiful, or go do something for someone else, because you never know, it might change your whole world. Good night, everyone.